Right now on Hoosier News Source, we hear from the Director of Public Safety on IU's vaccine distribution plans, and we learn the latest on this year's Lambda Phi.
And I have updates on the potential record-breaking snowfall from Monday, as well as a look at another snow chance later this week. Hoosier News Source starts now.
Hello and welcome to the season 23 premiere of Hoosier News Source. I'm Elizabeth DeSantis. We begin today with the winter storm covering the state. Caroline Clare has the latest on this week's chilling temperatures and expected snow. Caroline?
Thanks, Elizabeth. This snow system from Sunday and Monday brought tremendous amounts of snow all over the country, like this photo taken in Martinsville, Indiana. In Bloomington, this snowstorm made history, making it to the top 5 heaviest snowfalls in February. Totals in Indiana range from 1.5 inches all the way to 18 inches in cities near Lake Michigan. But snow isn't over yet. Let's take a look at our snow chances for this Thursday. As you can see with the system down to our southeast here, we are right on the borderline of snow chances. So depending on how far north this system stretches, we can see some more snow on Thursday. So if you do plan on leaving the house on Thursday, make sure you're weather aware as it could be snowing. Now let's take a look at what we can expect for the rest of the week. Overall, start ending the week here in the 20s and going into the 30s. But as we move into early next week and through the weekend, temperatures finally above freezing, and there are a couple more snow chances, but maybe even seeing the 40s going into next week. Stay safe and warm and have a great week. Elizabeth, back to you.
Now for the latest COVID-19 updates. Hoosier News Source reporter Andrew Lemparski joins us from campus with the new numbers. Andrew?
Thanks, Elizabeth. The university is starting out the in-person portion of the semester strong with the most mitigation tests they've done since the school year began. Over 25,000 tests were conducted last week, and even better, just 0.16% of those tests were positive, the lowest rate the university has seen. If we break that down, just 0.2% of tests from those living in Greek housing or in residence halls were positive. Same for off-campus students, 0.2% positivity. The university's goal for this semester is to actually run 50,000 tests every week. That means every student and 10,000 staff and faculty members will be tested every week of the semester. In fact, for students living in residence halls and Greek houses, the university says to prepare to get tested twice a week.
Honestly, getting tested twice a week for mitigation testing, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's kind of an inconvenience because I do have a busy schedule as compared to getting tested once a week, but overall it's not too bad.
And that's all for this week's Campus COVID Update. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Andrew Lemparski. Elizabeth, back to you.
Indiana is one of the first states to vaccinate people ages 65 and older. So when can IU students expect to receive their COVID-19 vaccine? HNS reporter Ella Rhodes brings us the latest details.
In early January, IU announced they will vaccinate all students, faculty, and staff for COVID-19 free of charge.
We are ready and willing and able. We just need the dosage and the green light from the state to have these populations be eligible.
As IU awaits vaccine allocation from the state, students can receive mitigation testing up to twice a week.
You know, we're all at the mercy of the state in terms of their allocation to those different sites, and so we will get what we get.
However, not all students feel IU has been transparent about when the vaccine will arrive and how they'll get it.
Honestly, I haven't heard much about it. Me personally, my roommate works for these clinics, and they're lucky enough to get the vaccines just so that they can stay protected too. But I personally haven't heard anything about the students themselves.
This semester, IU students are getting COVID tested at Marching 100 Hall, but across the street. IU hopes to eventually have vaccine distribution here at Assembly Hall.
Originally, IU intended to have a closed vaccination site only for students, faculty, and staff, but IU is willing to partner with Monroe County as an open site for anyone eligible to receive the vaccine.
Sometimes they'll put important information in an email at the end, but they should really send something out as the headline, hey, you could probably get the vaccine.
The university hopes to vaccinate up to 2,400 people a day.
I don't think that it changes much that it's administered by IU. I think it's an appropriate place to and distribute it.
After you receive your vaccination in Assembly Hall, you'll be observed for a short time for any symptoms.
We're able to get dosage to tomorrow. We could probably be live here within a couple of days.
As of now, IU will continue to test students and faculty and enforce COVID guidelines. For Hoosier News Source, I'm Ella Rhodes.
The university plans to release more information about vaccine distribution in the coming weeks. Last week, IU named 11 faculty members as distinguished professors. This is the highest academic title for IU's most remarkable and prominent scholars and researchers. President Michael McRobbie said that the scholars are widely respected and have earned international recognition and acclaim. The appointees include Judith Allen, Dr. Liana Apostolova, Dr. Aaron Carroll, Dr. D. Wade Clapp, David Fisher, Matthew Hahn, Cindy Mello-Silver, Christoph Ermschur, Martin Gerald, Debomo Lahiri, and Malcolm Winkler. Read more about each inductee on news.iu.edu. Coming up on Hoosier News Source, I met with people giving Valentine's Day care packages to those experiencing homelessness. And we hear updates on Little Phi. It's so cold out now, it may seem impossible that Little 500 weather will be here soon. Plans for the race this April are already underway. Known as the world's greatest college weekend, IU's Little 500 is set to return this year. Track practice will resume as soon as the weather warms up with limited capacity levels, social distancing, mandatory mask wearing, and COVID screening upon arrival. Rider registration closes Friday, February 19th.
I myself was a writer when I was a student, and still some of the people that I met through Little 500 are still some of my best friends. And I think that general members, steering committee members, writer alumni can all really attest to that.
The tentative dates for Little 500 qualifiers is Saturday, March 27th, and race days are April 23rd and 24th. This weekend, the fraternity Pi Lambda Phi showed that Valentine's Day is about more than roses and chocolate. I had the chance to speak to some members. Take a look. In partnership with local Bloomington organization Hotels for Homeless, IU's own Pi Lambda Phi raised over $4,500 to hand out care packages to Bloomington's homeless community. With a goal of eliminating prejudice in their own community, they distributed 100 care packages containing toiletries, clothes, gift cards to local eateries, and handwritten Valentines from the brothers at Pi Lambda Phi.
The best way to help eliminate prejudice in our community was to help fight classism, help fight poverty by going out there, literally going out there and giving people what they need to make it through the winter.
Pi Lambda's message to the Bloomington community is that the homeless are not so different from those with homes.
Don't ignore these people. These people they're just like us. Whenever they're happy, the insides react the same way as when they're sad, same way that we react, right?
Pi Lambda's event was met with a warm welcome at their visits to Seminary Park, Community Kitchen, and the Shalom Homeless Shelter. There I spoke with community member Mike Winters, who feels the homeless community in Bloomington is misunderstood.
Thank you for being tolerant. We're not that bad of a people. We're actually pretty good people. We're just not like you with jobs and lots of money.
To help Bloomington's homeless community, visit Valentine's Day care packages for the homeless on GoFundMe.com or H4H Bloomington on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Jackson Kinney joins us with the latest on IU Sports. Jackson?
Thanks, Elizabeth. Both the men's and women's basketball teams were in action over the weekend. The men's team traveled up to Columbus to face Ohio State, where they just couldn't find a solution for the Buckeyes, losing 78-59. Trace Jackson Davis led the team in scoring by recording 23 points, but was let down by his team with only one other player, Jerome Hunter, scoring in double digits. The women's squad, on the other hand, came home a winner, defeating Illinois in Champaign 58-50. It was a tight game down to the final minutes, but late crucial buckets from seniors Allie Patberg and Nicole Cardano Hillary pushed the Hoosiers to the win. Coach Terry Morton called it an ugly win, but it's the 4th in a row for her group. Up next for these teams are 2 midweek matchups here at home, with the men's team facing Minnesota on Wednesday at 9 p.m. and the women's team playing Michigan Thursday at 6. Elizabeth, back to you.
Thanks, Jackson, and thank you for watching this week's episode of Hoosier News Source. To learn more about this week's stories, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at IUSTV News. I'm Elizabeth DeSantis from Bloomington, Indiana. We'll see you next time.